If you could see what I'm sitting in front of right now, you'd probably laugh. I've got 3 hard drives going all at once, and somewhere around 1,000 video clips with thrilling names like clip underscore 0447. Um, my coffee is lukewarm next to me, and I got a sticky note stuck on the corner of my monitor that says, my own handwriting, fix the audio you forgot. Yeah, that's the glamorous reality of running a gardening channel. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the one back here who puts all of these videos together. I do the editing, the organizing, the deeply unglamorous bits in between. And figured since I'm going to be doing more of these, like on-camera updates now, I'd show you a little bit of what actually goes on behind the scenes, because I don't think most people can picture it quite right. When you watch one of our videos, you see maybe like 10 clean, tidy minutes. What you don't see is that those 10 minutes might have been like 2 or 3 solid hours of footage. Long, rambling, the wind battering the microphone, plane droning on over at the worst possible time. The same sentence said like 4 times and then finally gotten right on one of the 4 times, maybe not even the last one. And a good long chunk where the camera is just, pointed at someone's boots because we forgot to hit stop. My whole job is to sit down with all that and quietly carve out the good bits. Find that one clear take. Cut out the dead air. Line it all up so it actually flows, so that you never once have to think about the fact that it's been edited. You don't have to worry about the mess underneath it. That's the nature of editing videos. Honestly, a huge part of it is just sorting. Where's the clip of the tomatoes? Why are there 9 separate files named final? It's part of the detective work. It's part of tidying up after yourself. It's not exciting. There's a quiet satisfaction, though, in taking a great pile of chaos and turning it into something calm and clear that's genuinely nice to sit and watch. I like that part. I like it a good deal more than I ever expected to. Well, my cats. And then there's still the stuff you never consciously notice, which is kind of the whole point of it. Nudging the music up puts just a touch to a nice moment, so it lands the way you actually want it to. Smoothing over the spot where the sound jumps because it takes 2 takes just so you can get everything stitched together. None of that is ever meant to be seen. If I've done my job properly, if you don't notice a single edit, you feel like you just spent 10 minutes, out in the garden with somebody who knows what they're doing, then the goal has been met as far as I'm concerned. I'm telling all this for one reason. I want the channel to feel exactly what it actually is. I want to feel like what it is. It's a couple of real people making something with their hands, getting it wrong now and then figuring it out as they go along. Not some slick, faceless operation. There's no big studio back here. It's just me, the drives, the lukewarm coffee, and that increasingly threatening little sticky note. So, that's the view from my side of it. Nothing dramatic, nothing fancy. Just wanted to pull the curtain back a little bit. Not that one. Those are blinds. And let you see the other half of how this all kind of comes together. And I'll let you in on one little secret. My favorite bits are often the ones that don't actually make it into a video. like, the bloopers, the one where the whole take just completely falls apart, end up laughing. Uh, the robin that landed on the handle of the spade that one time, mid sentence, and then just sat there and owned it, as if it was called on like anyone else. The good stuff, the real stuff is often what ends up, unfortunately, on the cutting block. We don't get to include it, but one of these days, maybe we'll stitch together a reel of like the bloopers or something like that for you. So I got a feeling a lot of you would enjoy seeing something like that.